everyone, welcome to the channel. So today I'll be showing you guys how I make my bullet journals. In February, I think, I started to bullet journal, and at that time I wasn't sure if I wanted to invest money into buying an entire journal just for bullet journaling. And quite frankly, bullet journals are overpriced and I didn't really want to spend $30 on what would essentially just be a planner. So I decided to make my own out of materials I already had, such as leftover paper from notebooks and construction paper that I bought when I was 7 years old because the school asked us to buy a new pack every single year, even though we would never use more than 5 sheets from one pack. Aside from saving money, this is also a great way to recycle and reuse paper that you otherwise wouldn't use, which is great for the environment.
First of all, let's look at what materials are needed. You will need some graph paper or dot paper. Personally, I'm using some graph paper that's left over from notebooks, but I will also be linking a dot paper template in the description box below so that you guys can use it. The next thing you need is 2 sheets of construction paper, some glue, scissors, an exacto knife, but this one is optional, scissors will be just fine, a ruler, a hole puncher, and some string. The first step is to take your grid or dot paper and to fold every single sheet of paper in half. Since I had a lot of paper, I decided to split it off into 4 different piles so that I would have 4 different sections in my bullet journal. Obviously this isn't necessary, but I would recommend that you do this if you have a lot of paper because only having one section doesn't work well with thicker journals. Once you're done folding all of the paper, slip each sheet of paper into one another to create a booklet. Now, as you can see, after tucking all of the pages into one another, the pages in the middle will jut out a bit and create a weird ledge. Now what I'm going to do is take my exacto knife and trim off the excess parts so that the pages appear to be the same size. I like to use an exacto knife as opposed to scissors because it creates a more organic look, but scissors will do the job just fine. Do this with every section of your journal. Now that we're done making the inside of the journal, it's time to make the cover. The first thing I'm going to do is take one piece of construction paper, fold it around the stack of papers, and measure out what size I want the cover to be. I'm just using a pencil and roughly outlining what this would look like. Once you're done doing that, feel free to cut out the paper. With my first journal, I only used 1 sheet of construction paper, but I found that the cover was really fragile and it didn't hold up very well, so afterwards I decided to just glue 2 sheets of construction paper together because that would make the cover a lot sturdier. Make sure you're using glue and not tape because the glue is what helps make it sturdier. So obviously the next step would be to just glue your 2 sheets of construction paper together. Once you're done that, trim off the excess of the second sheet of construction paper following the outlines from the first sheet. Since I'm making a thicker journal, the next step would be to fold the cover and mold it so that it fits the spine of your journal. I just folded mine 3 times, but do whatever you think will work for you. And now, on to the fun part. Obviously, there are so many methods out there to bind a book, but this is just the method I found works for me, and it's the simplest method. But if you want something sturdier, I would definitely recommend that you go search up a video on how to bind a book, because I'm not an expert on this, I'm just doing whatever works for me. For this part, I just punched 2 holes along the spine of my journal. You can punch more holes to make it sturdier. I just did 2 because that's the simplest thing. Now repeat this step for every stack of paper you have. Finally, once that the holes have been punched, you'll want to use your string to tie them together. So I just looped this string through the 2 holes and tied it against the spine on the outside of the journal. Do this for every section of the journal. And now, enjoy this footage of me struggling to tie a basic double knot. And now here's the final product. Like I've said, I really like making my own bullet journals because it is so cheap, and you can also customize the way you want it to look, which makes it feel more personal. This last step is optional, but I personally like to label my bullet journals so that I know which months they refer to. So on the cover of this one, I'm just writing June to September 2020. You could also doodle on them or keep them plain, so it's really up to you. If you guys are interested in making this, I'll be linking materials similar to the ones I used in the description box down below. So that's it for this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!